So we're going to do a modified version of reciprocal teaching, meaning where we have different roles that have different cognitive responsibilities. If I could have your attention, please. As we'll see this afternoon, we'll watch a quick example on video. Reciprocal teaching has predicting, clarifying, questioning, and summarizing. 4 great routines, all that help to structure and yield comprehension, all of which are plans or strategies for thinking. We're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to have roles, as you can see there. A discussion leader, look and see what they do. They keep the discussion moving by following the steps, ensuring everybody participates, contributes their own ideas but doesn't dominate, monitors the time so the group is efficient and effective. A person with lots of social skills. Next, we want an encourager, who's your bubbly cheerleader. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, I really like that. Without being Eddie Haskell. I realize that's a reference you may not be familiar with. Those of you that are laughing are familiar with, you can share with your group members what I mean. Without being a kiss, you know what. Good. Next, questioner. Poses key questions to ensure everybody grasps what the recommendations mean, invites example. That doesn't mean they have to do it all. They're soliciting from each other, right? It's a group project. Invites examples, clarifies possible challenges, and elicits potential solutions to those challenges. Like, how about the kid that they can't read as fluently as the other kids? What do we do with that kid? How about the kid that nobody wants in their group that has BO and da-da-da-da, whatever? You're the one who helps not solve it all. That's not your job. Your job is to tap the group intelligence. What do you think, guys? What have you found? If I could have your attention, please. The last one is the inferer-implier, meaning at the end to prompt each individual to reflect on implications of what they've just read and discussed, to both read on the lines, which we'll discuss a lot of what the recommendations say, but between the lines. What's being inferred here? What's implied in my setting? It's different in my classroom. What might it look like in my classroom? So those are the roles. Before we go on, would you please, right now you have 45 seconds, divvy up the roles. Who's going to do what? If you have 3, somebody's going to have 2 roles. When you see everybody is through, discussion leader, briefly check with everybody, do we understand the process here? And rather than just asking, do we understand, maybe ask group members to quickly clarify. What are we going to do for 15 minutes? How's this going to look? Any questions? Anybody not understand what we're going to do? Okay, see you in 90 seconds. Leaders, make sure they understand the process. Go. Now, please ask me if you do not understand what you'll be doing for the next 15 minutes. Anybody want an example or clarification? So we're going to have 13 minutes of a combination of silent reading and structured discussion, going back to the reading and going in between the lines. I call this process what, so what, now what. That's my way of encapsulating Bloom. What is identify? What's the recommendation saying? Facts, information. Got to be able, that's text dependent. You got to be able to show, well, here's what this means. Here's what they said. Here's what they mean. So a lot of paraphrasing, identifying. So what is analyzing? That's now really pulling it apart, getting specific, and beginning to read between the lines, which really is at both the analysis. Well, here's what this means in math. It didn't talk math, but here's what it would mean in math. And here's why. And then now what is, here's what it would mean in my classroom. Or here's an example of what I do. Here's an example of what I could do. So what, now what?